Trae Young, who's a volume guy, who's not always the most efficient guy. I mean, how do you approach a guy like that? He's going to take his shots, but like when you're defending a guy like that, what's kind of the mindset?
I mean, the mindset is always to try to take away everything from every team. In a perfect world, obviously you can't do that. You want to take away a team's strengths, make them play to their weaknesses. So you obviously want to take away their threes. You want to take away Trey's threes, his penetration. Obviously, he makes plays at the rim, his floaters, but you can't take away all three of them. He's obviously very good at it. He's very crafty for a reason. So your mental approach that try to give him less touches, throw different things at him. Try to make him play towards his weaknesses, which is not many things. But yeah, you try not to let him beat you as well as the others. You try to take away his production and also the others. So we're gonna figure that out, and hopefully the game plan we have will do that come Sunday.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Lauren Rosen.
Hey, Danny. This roster now especially has a lot of young guys that are getting into the rotation. Tyrese in his first playoffs, Matisse and Shake about to do their first second round. What's your message as a seasoned veteran and especially a playoff veteran to those guys about what's to come?
Well, it's easy. Reese, just, he's hooping, so just tell him to keep hooping. Everybody else the same. Just keep playing. Don't think about it. The game is very simple. The worst that can happen is we lose. It's a basketball game. Obviously we want to win. It's our job. It's a big part of our lives. We're competitive, but these aren't, these are first world problems. These aren't big issues. But we want to be the last team standing. But keep playing. Do what you do. Punish the other team for giving up or not believing in what they think you can't do, type of thing. If they think you can't shoot, make them believe you're a shooter, because we know how good they are from the perimeter. If they think you can't finish at the rim, make your free throws. But defensively, we want you guys to be active as possible. Take your shots, play your game, and just keep hooping.
And then I had to circle back with you. I know you said that you had performed in the playoffs in front of a full Philly crowd as an opponent, but you had never done it as a Sixers player. Now you've done it once, especially at the end of the second quarter, when you had a big, you stole the inbounds pass, you know what you did. How was your reaction to the way that they get that excited about plays like that specifically?
Oh, it was great, man. It was amazing, especially with someone like myself who's not getting it going offensively, find other ways to try to impact the game and them still be behind me, encouraging me. To have our crowd behind us was huge. And that's a big part of the reason why we stayed in it, even though we didn't make shots early on. The reason why we kept chipping at it and why we stayed the course. On the road, I don't know how we reacted, but having our home court was big for us. I love the energy they bring. I do disagree with a couple things that the fans have been doing lately. But for the most part, I love our fans. Just don't like the fact that they boo people when they're injured. That type of thing. We don't want to pour popcorn on anybody. So, let's behave. But at the same time, keep doing what you're doing. We love you. Our fans have been amazing. We're going to need them, especially this round and moving forward.
Wise words. Thanks, Danny.
Anytime.
Next, we'll go to Tim Reynolds.
Hey, Danny. Kind of along what Lauren was asking you about being one of the vets. You're one of, I think it's only like 9 guys left in the playoffs that have a ring. You obviously have 3 of them. Dwight's got a ring. The younger guys in this team, have they talked to you about what that moment is like, what that championship moment is like, or have you used that at all to plant some seeds in these guys who haven't necessarily been to the place where you've been to a few times as a champion?
Here and there. I think a lot of the stories we tell about the times that we came up short, obviously the good memories are great, and they want to, that's something they have to experience for themselves. Obviously, when me and Dwight went back to LA, we got our rings. We talked about it a little bit then, here and there throughout the course of the season. Right now, just focused and locked in on playing Atlanta and winning game 1. It's the most important game for us right now. But yeah, we talked about those things throughout, and we talked about, a lot of times we talk about the mishaps because we don't want it to happen again. And we try to teach them, look, I know you made mistakes. I made the same mistakes before. I can go back to game 5, against Dallas, or game this against so-and-so. Exact thing happened. Keep your head up, keep playing. We came back. I was 0 for 7. And next, I hit the big shot in the fourth quarter. Now I was 1 for 9. And that helped us win the game. So those instances, those, I guess, examples are the ones we use more so than the winning examples, because we want to encourage them that, mistakes happen and keep hooping, and it happens to the best of us. And in order to get to that final stage to be last team standing, you got to be able to play through those mistakes.
Thanks, Danny. Good luck, man.
Anytime. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jack McCaffrey.
Were you surprised that the Lakers went out as quickly as they did? I know there was injuries and things, but you were with them and they're gone already. So I was wondering what your reaction was to that. And also, if it does give you some kind of encouragement that, hey, that's one less really severe impediment that could be in the way of where you guys ultimately want to go.
I mean, I think a lot of the world is surprised the defending champions, or you said even Miami went out early the way they did. LA goes out as early as they did. But it happens. Injuries happen. It's a long season. The healthiest team, usually the team that's playing the best. And that starts not just in the playoffs, but in the regular season. The reason why Phoenix is in the position they are because they've been one of the healthier teams throughout the year. But right now, as a fan, I love watching basketball, watching competitive basketball. And I'm rooting for underdogs, and I love to see certain teams make it farther than they do. But as a player, I'm not focused or worried about any other team. I'm worried about Philly and what we need to do. And obviously, I think those teams that losing are good wake-up calls for our younger guys. Like when you guys ask the questions about our younger guys and us vets trying to teach them some things, is don't take it for granted because, you never know when you're going to have this opportunity again, when it's going to ever come back or circle back. People think they all next year. Nah, we have right now. Let's take advantage of the opportunity we have now and hopefully, get it done.
Very nice. Thanks.
Anytime.
Time for 2 more questions. We'll start with Chris Franklin.
Hey, Danny, with Joel out, Tobias Harris is one of the guys who stepped up and had a good game 5. How would you assess the way that Tobias has played throughout these playoffs? And what have you seen from him in a leadership role during the last series?
He's been stepping up every game, even with Joel. From game 1 on, I think he had 37 in that first game. Might have been a playoff career high. I'm not sure. But he's been doing what he's been doing all season. And he should have been an all-star this year. He got snubbed. But, we expect him to keep doing what he's doing, carry us, lead our team. But he's not the only one that had big games. We need next man up for everybody. You can't just do it as one person. Seth had an amazing game. Tyrese has been playing. He's been balling. He's been hooping. And, Matisse came up, stepping in the starting lineup. Guarding Bradley Beal is not an easy task. Ben, everybody's stepping up. He's stepping up to the free throw line, knocking down his free throws. So we had other guys step up when we needed to, and that's what happens. That's what you need when you want a championship or want to be a championship team. It can't just be the stars; it's got to be the others. And each night, every piece matters.
Final question. We'll go to Marcus Thompson.
What's up, Danny? You've known Seth for a long time. You were drafted with his brother. What's it like for you to see the player he's become and knowing what all has gone into building this player?
I think he's exceeded everybody's expectations. That I've seen him when he came out, when he transferred to Duke. People wasn't sure he was that good of a player, and then he killed at Duke, and then he came out and he said number of years in the G League. And I watched him. I think I was even not a contestant, but I was a scorekeeper of the dunk contest, one of All-Star weekends in the G League. I think he was there shooting 3-pointers or something like that. So I've watched him in a number of years going from the G League and then coming back into the league and now making a name for himself and now having a career year, which is amazing. And, it just goes to show you that, I guess, family is a good thing. And sometimes people compare you to your brother and things like that. It's tough to follow those footsteps. But it just goes to show you how far hard work can go, how much you can learn from, I guess, people inside your family, your system. I don't know how well he keeps in touch or how much working out they do together. But he's, I wouldn't say closed the gap, but I guess you could say he's closed the gap quite a bit over the few years because he was, the guy that, I guess, the brother they talked about that wasn't nearly as good enough. But now he's in the conversation shooting, career percentage 3-pointers better than most people in the world. So he's definitely made a name for himself, and he's closed the gap to be in the conversation as one of the best Currys to, play in this league.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny.
You know.